Well, I gotta say, everything's been perfect so far. Absolutely perfect. Especially you guys. You know what? So, are we not live streaming? No. Oh, we just don't have video. Okay, well, I'll just describe how I look for all of you guys. So just picture Brad Pitt, you know? Picture Brad Pitt in a suit and tie. Yeah, there we go. All right, so you're there. The secret of prosperity, that's what we're talking about today. And I think it's pretty prosperous of us to be here together, actually. I think that prosperity is a great topic. And I think it's more than most of us recognize and understand that it is. So I got a couple of secrets that I'm going to share with you. But first I want to talk about a couple of quotes that will get this idea of prosperity more firmly entrenched, because it's not just, you know, what you might think as material possessions. It's not just money. You know, when I was in ministerial school, I had to take what was called a 4T prosperity class, which talked about the different things that you do to bring about prosperity in your life. And one of those things was to recognize that you're prosperous and the prosperity that you seek is within you. And so we had to say 100 times a day, I am prosperous, I am prosperous, I am prosperous. And the thing about that was that they didn't give us a definition for prosperity. I mean, so that when we said we're prosperous, I am prosperous, I am prosperous 100 times a day, we didn't maybe have the same intention in mind for what that looked like. You know, so when we got together and we talked about what it is we thought we were doing and whether or not we've had any results, you know, some people would say, oh, yes, I got some unexpected income through the mail. You know, I got a check from somebody and I did not expect that check. Oh, great, clapping and all of that kind of thing. It's wonderful to receive unexpected income, and that is some prosperity, you know. And others would talk about the things that they received as well. But there were a few in the class that felt that opportunities to be of service were the things that were starting to show up in their lives as prosperity. That when they said, I am prosperous, they started to feel that prosperity was something that they had control over, that they could engage in, because it was an activity. It was an activity of the mind. You know, feeling prosperous really is the gateway to being prosperous, isn't it? Isn't feeling prosperous? I mean, if you feel that you have enough, then that prosperity just is there for you, whether it's enough love or enough joy or enough goodness or enough connection or enough money even. I mean, prosperity can be that too. So when Eric Butterworth, and I love Eric Butterworth, talks about prosperity, he says things like this, and this is kind of a progression of what it is that he's trying to tell us. He says, first of all, there is only one way by which you can achieve prosperity. It is to take charge of your mind. So, I mean, that's pretty broad, isn't it? He's saying it's an activity of the mind. I mean, and you have to take charge of it because you're in charge of your thinking. You know, you're the one that says, wow, this is really an awful day, or I don't have enough, or you're the one that says, I don't want to be there, rather than, man, I can hardly wait to experience the next incredible thing. I can't wait to go to that birthday party and hand this beautiful gift that I picked out to this person. You know, I can't wait to be of service at this meeting that I go to or at this church service that I attend. I can't wait to see my grandkids so that I can watch them. You know, something along those lines. It's a way of thinking. So he starts with that. You know, we're in charge of that. That's what we're in charge of. That is our choice. Then he says prosperity is not just having things. Now it's narrowing it down a little bit. He says it is the consciousness that attracts the things. Wow, the consciousness that attracts the things. So what could that be? I mean, if you seem to be attracting the joy of life, what do you think the consciousness is that's attracting that? It's a consciousness of joy, isn't it? I mean, it has to be. That's the magnetic process. I mean, like attracts like. So if you're experiencing love in the moment for life itself, I mean, what is that consciousness that first became the magnetic impulse? It's love. It's absolutely love. So he says that prosperity is not just having things, it's a consciousness that attracts to things. Prosperity is a way of living and thinking. It's not just having money or things, but we think of it that way. We really do. Then he goes on to say, the secret of achieving prosperity lies in so vividly keeping yourself centered in the inner focus of affluence that you literally exude the consciousness of it. Now, that can be hard to understand because it seems like a circular discussion, but it's exactly what I was saying to you a moment ago, is that the consciousness of prosperity is that which you are exhibiting, that which you are living. And if you find prosperity in that, if you find that you are prosperous, that there is abundance, that there is everything that you need at all times, then you're finding yourself to be prosperous. He goes on to quote an even higher authority, somebody who he felt was intensely prosperous, and that's Jesus. And Jesus said, ask and it shall be given to you. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. For everyone that asketh receiveth. And be that seeketh, and he that seeketh findeth. And to him that knocketh it shall be opened. Lots of ifs. It shall be opened. That's Matthew 7:7 and Matthew 7:8. So it's there for us. It's there, you know. And you combine what Jesus had to say and what Eric Butterworth said, and what you're recognizing is that your thoughts and your consciousness are the knocking. Aren't they? Yeah, they are. That which you are is the seeking. I mean, so you put these two together and you get quite something. I think it's a beautiful idea. But I have more secrets than that. And let me start with this. So the other night, I went to speak to a bunch of lawyers, which is what I do. I do that. And this particular event was something that all of the lawyers that were there needed, and for a variety of reasons, but the main reason is because the state bar requires a certain amount of time be spent on the educational process of this competence unit. And so that's what I was there to provide. I was there to provide a competence unit, and this competence unit was about wellness and about how to engage in the profession of practicing law in a way that allows you to hold on to your health and your well-being and your holistic understanding of this thing called, you know, success and life and abundance and prosperity and goodness and health. So I showed up for this group, and they're called the Orange County Trials Lawyers Association, and they find themselves, generally speaking, in very, very opulent places, settings for things like this. I mean, somebody came and parked my car and you know, ushered me in. This is sort of a red carpet situation at this social club, which is buried deep within the confines of this beautiful series of buildings. You know, you walk down this hallway with red carpet on it, the doors open automatically for you, and there are people to greet you. You know, it's really something. You walk in, and there's your room, and it's got tables in it, and it's got a microphone up front, and all of a sudden I get these butterflies, you know. I mean, this is quite a setting. And I have a nice suit on, you know, and I'm trying to look the part because I knew this was going to happen. It happens every time I go to places like this. And so it was my turn to do this thing, and I thought, you know, although the lawyers really need this opportunity to understand how to hold on to wellness, which is available to them in all aspects of their life, they're not going to do what I tell them to do. You know, and I'm going to give them tips as to how to do this thing and how to make this work for you, you know, how to get better sleep, even though you know that you have projects working and you got stress and you're in burnout phase in your life, you know, and the things that you can do to get out of that. And there are 8 dimensions of wellness that I usually talk about. And those 8 dimensions you may have heard before, but they go like this: emotional, physical, social, spiritual, intellectual, environmental, financial, and occupational wellness. And those are, generally speaking, the 8 dimensions that kind of comprise most people's lives. I mean, it's not that that's all you do, but, you know, if you're going to talk about it, you sort of have to put it into various camps so that you can discuss, you know, what you might do. And if there was a Venn diagram of each of these things, I mean, they would intersect. So your emotional and social and even financial are all tied in some way, shape, or form, not completely, but partially. So I was there looking at this and thinking, you know, I got to take a different tact. I got to take a different tact with these guys. And I know I do, because this group believes that prosperity, and you know, I knew that I was going to be doing prosperity here today, so I've been thinking about it all week long and going over all these quotes. So what I really wanted to talk about was this when I was there. So what did I do? I did, only I called it something different. Because when I started talking about emotional wellness, I called it prosperity. I said, this is after I asked them the question, what does prosperity mean to you? You know, if I say prosperity, and a couple of people raise their hands and they say, well, it's winning a case or settling a case, a big case, you know. It is getting a result that I really, really want in the case, and it brings in a lot of money for the firm and for me, and you know, everybody's happy. And that's what I expected to hear. I mean, they're trial lawyers. That's what they do. And especially down in Orange County, that's what they want. And not to besmirch them, I mean, but they do have a way of living which I'm not used to. and I'm not used to it kind of because I don't want to live that way, you know? I mean, I want to park my own car, you know, all of that stuff. So I said, I think that all of the things that I'm going to tell you have to do with prosperity. I really do. You know, I think that when I'm talking about emotional wellness, what I'm really talking about is emotional prosperity, you know, and so here's what I'm talking about. Emotional prosperity involves understanding, managing, and expressing emotions in a healthy way. Emotional prosperity is the spring in your step and the light that shines the way. So can you imagine all these trial lawyers that got to listen to this, you know? Yeah, that's what emotional prosperity is, the spring in your step, you know, the smile on your face, the way that you greet the world. And you know, I knew I'd get some pushback on this, like a couple of eye rolls and that kind of thing. And then I can deeply step into it. I mean, because it means something when you walk into a space and you're greeted and people want to see you. Because you are the person that brings the light, you see. You have the spring in your step, and you obviously want to be there. So when you walk in there, the bailiff goes, hey, how you doing? The judge looks at you and winks, gives a wink, you know. The court reporter says, oh, good, we're going to have fun today. You know, and the clerk says, all right. You know, I mean, who do you think is going to have the advantage in that setting? Who's going to have the advantage? The person who is emotionally prosperous in the moment, showing this love and light. I mean, it's great stuff, great stuff. And so now they're starting to soften a little bit in the audience. You know, it's like, you know, like, it's not what I'm paid to do, but I do get your point. I mean, life is just easier. Life is better. I mean, if you're living life that way where everything you greet is a joy for you, it's like, whoa, this is where I want to be. All right. So, and by the way, I had to bring it back to the home base, which is, you know, if you see life that way, if you are emotionally prosperous, you're less likely to burn out. You're less likely to suffer from these stress injuries, if you will, and I call those emotional injuries, you know, where people are feeling like they don't want to engage with anybody. They hate their work. They hate the people at work. They hate their clients. They hate everybody, you know. It's like, take this job and shove it attitude, you know. And they can understand that. You know, the people in the audience, they totally got that. But, you know, when you act like this, that can't squeeze in. When you act like this, you're the light of the world and everything in it is shining on you. Oh, it's hard to fall into that hole, if you will. So I had to start talking about physical prosperity as well, you know, because you need proper exercise and nutrition and sufficient sleep and all that kind of stuff, you know, and they poo-poo that. You know, the person who sleeps less is the one that's probably more intelligent, you know. Oh boy. It'd be nice to get over that, wouldn't it? That whole thing. I mean, because we need sleep. We do. We absolutely need sleep. So I spent some time talking about sleep. And this is something they didn't expect me to talk about, because I said, all right, I know you guys probably want sleep because you're sleep deprived, but let me tell you what the problem is. Part of the problem is that you refuse to sleep in a different room than you're charging your electronic devices, you know? And you refuse to sleep in a room that's different from the one where you watch TV and movies in, you know? And you refuse to sleep in a space that is exactly the way you need it in order for you to get this optimum REM sleep that you want. You know, is it the right lighting in the room? Is it the right comfortable bed? Is it the right this? Is it the right that? I mean, you refuse to do those things because you have an attraction to whatever it is that your work seems to demand. And a guy raised his hand and he said, I wake up at 3:30 in the morning, not because I want to, but because I feel like I have to look at my emails. You go, oh my God. So I kind of looked him right in the eye and asked a question of the whole group. Does that feel like prosperity to you? Really? Does that feel like prosperity to you? Silence. Social prosperity. I mean, what is social prosperity, right? Building a supportive network of friends, family, colleagues, and mentors with shared desires and experiences. It's not to be missed and truly defines social prosperity. Oh man, I love that. It's not sitting necessarily in an opulent space and pretending to be somebody you're not. I mean, I don't want to judge anybody for this, but that's sort of what was happening a little bit in that room. And you can feel it. You can absolutely feel it. That, you know, they didn't quite feel comfortable. I mean, I didn't either, because I know what they expected, and I would much rather have been there with shorts and a Hawaiian shirt on. But I know what kind of reception that would have brought. In fact, I wouldn't have even gotten in the room. I mean, this is coat and tie required and all that other kind of thing, you know. So, but you guys are practicing social prosperity right now. You're engaged in social prosperity right now, a connection around things that matter. This is pure prosperity. I see it in your eyes. I feel it in your heart. Do you know that God is love? Yes. Do you know that God is joy? Do you know that your connection with those two things is the connection between you and God? Absolutely. The answer to that is not just yeah, it's yes. Yes, because you have to feel it, and when you do, it's the truth. It's absolutely the truth. So we went through all these 8 dimensions, you know, and by the time we were through, they were looking at me a little sideways and thought, and a couple of them actually said it, wow, that was not what I expected. I said, well, it really wasn't what I had, you know, intended to do when you asked me to do this, but I thought, why not, you know? Why not go out on a limb and talk about something that's really important? And something that's really important to me. You know, because, you know, when I show up at a place and there's a valet, and you guys know who I am and the things that I drive and stuff like that, but I'll show up in my suit and I drive up in a 2006 Toyota Tundra pickup truck with a dent in the side, you know? And then I have to hand a valet my keys, and then I just kind of wink at him and go, don't hurt it, you know? Be careful with it. I'm trusting you. So, I know what they expect, but I would rather have shown up in that Hawaiian shirt and shorts, because that's the truth. And I don't feel that prosperity is living a life that's not the truth. Do you know that? I don't feel that that's prosperous. Do you feel that that's prosperous? I don't feel that that's prosperous at all. And feeling is exactly what I'm trying to get with you when I say things like God is love. Do you know that you are love because you are that which God is? I mean, these are things that are true. And you can feel it. When you understand it and know it, you can feel it. So I got through it, and they ended up giving me something like a pin set or something for showing up, like I need more pins. But I'm always happy to be of service. I really am. I'm just very happy to be of service and to bring something different. And that is where the secret lies. So I have a little section here that I created that I think is worthy of the title, The Secret, Prosperity Secrets. What did I title this talk today? I titled it The Prosperity Secret. The Prosperity Secret. And there are a couple of them. The first one is a mindset that must be available to you and utilized if you expect to have prosperity at all. Because gratitude is an abundance mindset. Gratitude is a mindset, and it's an abundance mindset. If you are grateful, what it really means deep down inside of you when you're feeling that sense of gratitude that you have enough, life is good. You can connect it with life at a level which is absolutely magnificent. Gratitude is an abundance mindset. Now here's the secret, the prosperity secret. The prosperity secret is the principle of generosity. Being generous. The principle of generosity is fundamental to unlocking true prosperity, as it emphasizes that giving creates a cycle of abundance in our lives. When we share our resources, whether it's time, money, or skills, we not only uplift others, but also invite more blessings into our own existence. Do you feel that that's true? It is absolutely true, isn't it? It is absolutely true. For instance, studies suggest that individuals who regularly engage in charitable acts report higher levels of happiness and satisfaction, demonstrating the emotional rewards of generosity. Oh, generosity is a big one. It is the prosperity secret. And even presidents have said as much, although we have to go way back to hear this quote from a particular president. Some of you may not even know that this person was president. Calvin Coolidge. Anybody remember Calvin Coolidge? Ooh, yeah, Calvin. Yeah, I remember going to his house. Calvin, back then, he was a very man of great means. No person was ever honored for what he received. Honor has been the reward for what he gave. When Calvin Coolidge claims in the secular context of service, what Calvin Coolidge claims in the secular context of service certainly holds true as a spiritual principle as well. One authentic form of happiness comes from giving. Giving that is motivated by the simple joy of doing it. And as those who make giving a life habit will tell you, rewards come in unexpected forms. Each one of us also needs to locate the giving identity of service within and live out its truth in all our attempts to aid others. I mean, it is the essence of what life is all about. I mean, it may even be the purpose of life. What a great question that we answered in the 5-minute question segment, which really dovetails perfectly with what it is we have to say. So there's also a quote by Eric Butterworth, which brings it right back to home. It goes like this: God is the source of a mighty stream of substance, and you are a tributary of its stream, a channel of its expression. Blessing the substance increases its flow. Wow. So you want an increased flow of love? Bless it by giving it. You want an increased flow of joy? Bless it by giving it. Put whatever you want in that sentence. Bless it by giving it. It becomes magnetic. It becomes who you are and brings it into your life. Does that make sense? It's the truth. So when I tell you that I love you, that's true as well. And I say it oftentimes by using the word namaste. So I'm going to say, the God in me recognizes the God in you. Namaste. Amen. Thank you. All right, that was fun. Prosperity, abundance.
Before you read the names off, there's several of the names that they're just listening. They're on still and they're just listening. They can't see you, but they're listening and they're dedicated.
Well, I wouldn't have worn a tie if I knew that was going to happen. Come on, shorts and Hawaiian shirt. But listen to this. We got people who are dedicated. We got Colleen, and she's dedicated all the way from Illinois. We got Audrey. Audrey, it's so good to know you're there. We got Charlene, Tennessee in the house. We got Virginia. Yay, Virginia. We have Rose. We have Mike and Carol. You guys are stalwarts. Fantastic. We love you. We miss you. And there's Steve and Kara on the line as well. You know? So they usually sit right back there, but they're not here today. We'll talk about that later. No, I'm just joking. So I'm going to set this right in here. There's prosperity in this too. So, all right. So what we're going to do now is our sacred giving. And if you have a gift that you would like to give to bring about some material prosperity, actually, not only for the church but for yourselves, because it really does really good work. It shows up as love, it shows up as caring, it shows up of a consciousness of beauty and love and light that's expressed and exhibited through this very space. So you can take your gift and put it on your heart, and I want you to say this with me. God is the source of my overflowing supply, and I am grateful, and so it is.
All right, let's make this happen. Money is coming to me. 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 I can just feel it, and I believe it's coming to me now, and I'm not worried about how. Oh yeah, money is coming to me. The universe is working for me. I can just feel it, and I believe it's working for me now, and I'm not worried about how. Oh yeah, money is coming to me. More than enough to live, more than enough to give, more than enough to share. Feel like it's already here. More than enough to shop, more than enough to drop, more than enough to save, with plenty left over to give away. Money is coming to me. I can just feel it, and I believe it's coming to me now, and I'm not worried about how. Money is coming to me. The universe is working for me. I can just feel it, and I believe it's working for me now, and I'm not worried about how. Money is coming to me. More than enough to live, more than enough to give, more than enough to share. Feel like it's already here. More than enough to shop, more than enough to drop, more than enough to save, plenty left over to give away. Money is coming to me. to me. Money is coming 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 to me.
You know how there's a saying today that it's not about money. It's about something good that you want. And somebody will say when something's given to them, they'll say, "That's money." You know, that's a phrase. It's like that's money. It's not money, but the love you give me is money. You know, but the joy I'm feeling is money. You know, that basketball game I watched is money. You know, I mean, that's the phrase today, and I kind of like that. It's like, yeah, money's coming to me, baby. All right. So this is what we do. We just know together that these tithes and treasures are to be utilized with integrity to bring about a consciousness of love and beauty and joy and peace, of generosity throughout this community. For generosity spreads. Generosity is a consciousness of love. We just live it and experience it now. We give it away. And so we're so thankful for this. We're thankful for all the tithes and treasures we receive. We're thankful for the ability to do the things that we do with it. And we're thankful for always being in the hearts of each and every one of you, and for being able to be an expression of goodness in your lives as well. So I release these words into the law of mind, knowing that it's already done. And so it is. Amen. Thank you so much, Trish. Appreciate it. Absolutely. All right, Barbara, come on down. I imagine she's going to talk about how the netting is gone up there and how it looks and how my hands are so stressed from having pulled all that stuff down. Thank you, Steve, for helping with that yesterday. Yeah, thank you.
I'll get to all those details shortly. And yes, prosperity is flowing through our community, and it comes through our vision and mission also. Just a reminder, our vision is the same as that of Unity Worldwide Ministries. So let's share it together. Envisioning a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And then we put our own feet onto that in our mission, which is transforming lives by living and sharing our inner truth, wisdom, compassion, and love, using practical spiritual. Good one. Good thing. That one's not. He got me off course. Okay, but it's a form of prosperity. See, we could all laugh. All right, and so we have core values, right? Creating community, living life, teaching truth, and serving spirit. Okay, now, today is our Adios Termites potluck. And yes, you might notice that the atrium is a bit brighter today. And I apologize, Mitch.
Good.
It's probably much warmer over there in that corner.
Good.
But we were fortunate in that the termite company finally agreed that there was a way we could possibly save more of our plants in the atrium, and that was to separately tent the building and then separately tent the outside wall. But what it did require was the removal of all of that netting, which provided shade and also kept moisture in, which makes a lovely home for termites. But that was a last-minute thing, so I had to scramble for some manpower. So I called Rev Greg, and I started texting. I started texting them separately, and then I joined the thing, and then they finally decided they'd both show up yesterday at 10 o'clock, And I was utterly amazed at how quickly it came down, because I was here about noon, and I thought they'd still be working till 2, and, you know, they were on their way out. But yes, he was a mess. So he, I mean, he had sawdust in his hair, and he cleans up quite well. So anyway, and because of that and something else, at our hospitality time today, we're going to celebrate your 2nd anniversary of your ordination as a Unity minister. It involves a very large, beautiful chocolate cake. All right? So, absolutely. Yes, indeed. So, can you believe it's been 2 years already? I mean, it was just yesterday, you know, and some of us were, you know, tuning in to Facebook to watch it, and now here we are, 2025, and but you know, the prosperity has continued to flow, you know, ever since he has been here. And that's why we're fortunate enough to be in a position right now where we can do something to our building, which has needed to be done for well over a decade. Because I've been around for 20 years, and about 15 years ago was the first time I, you know, went into one of the offices and started working in there, and there was this little sawdust there, and I'm like, what is this? Well, I found it was termites, and then what's the book room, and now is our, you know, primary office. There's another little corner. There's always sawdust there. Termite poop. So hopefully that'll also be gone. But that means, however, that you know, we will have some loss. So next Sunday's not going to look exactly the same. But before we terminate, there we go. It's really stuck with me today. We're also going to bless all of the plants that are here, and something that touches my heart, and I hope it works. In this hanging basket, you'll notice all the other hanging baskets are gone. Mary Martinez and my grandson moved as many as they could of the potted plants where the roots didn't go in deep, and removed all of the hanging ones, except this one. Because when we did move it once to back there, we found out there's 2 eggs in there. Now, you've probably seen the turtle doves, you know, flying in and out and in and out. Mama bird was so unhappy, it just broke my heart. So Mary and my grandson pulled out the ladder again, came back and put it up, and I see they found it. So this evening we're gonna try an experiment. We're going to try, since the netting is now gone, to put ladders on this side and a ladder on that side, and simply hand it over the wall and hang it in that tree out there, and hope that Mom and Dad are watching. You know, and it's not too far from where it was. So, you know, we keep the doves in mind, okay? We know more will return if those particular 2 do not, and all will be well. So moving on, next Sunday, first Sunday of July, of course, is tea time, right? And let's see, who's going to be doing it? Luann will be doing it. Luann. Okay, she'll be leading that. Now, however, Michelle, your class will not be held on Tuesday because of the fumigation. But it will be back the next week. And Thursday, we will have the regular meditation time, 5:45, and it will be followed by the Reiki share at 7 p.m. So we're supposed to be able to get back in the building by Wednesday. And so all the groups who are using it will get a text as soon as they post the sign that, you know, the air is clear and it's okay to, you know, re-inhabit this space. On July the 12th, that's the second Saturday, we continue with the group on the, you know, the feminine expressions of God that Karen Cornford is giving, and this group will focus on Kuan Yin, the Buddhist goddess of compassion. So that basically, brings us to the end of the announcements, except to also thank, besides Greg and Steve and Mary and Jay and Bill and Luann, well, and Amanda, who she started this project and then she handed it over to me, and it was a smooth transition. But let me tell you, I really am not interested in doing it again, or doing it to my home or anything else like that. But you know, it is moving smoothly. So Helen, you and I had a discussion yesterday about blessing, you know, what we have and our plants and our birds. So would you just lead us in a brief blessing for the success of this? Yes. And just before she does it, one last reminder. Now, Luann and Mary were also here Friday morning. We've got to remove any food that is not in a totally unopened, airtight container. So that means like all of our coffee and, you know, sugar and that sort of thing. We need somebody to take it home today. I've got lots of extra bags I brought from home. And already Luann and Mary went through a lot of the other cupboards. But check for your cough drops around here and at the soundboard and so forth, because all of those things need to go. But if it hasn't been opened and it's airtight, it can stay. But we're also going to be cleaning out the refrigerator, so it needs it. It's been time. So anybody who can also hang around after hospitality today, you know, and help us clean out the refrigerator, double check that we've got every type of food stuff out of here, it would be very much appreciated. So Helen.
All right. Okay, well, let's just take a deep breath. Always fixes things. Let's just take a deep breath for a moment. And exhale. And let's know that this whole fumigation process of getting rid of termites, which destroy our building, is successful. That the termites truly do leave for a very, very long time, that they stay away. And know that this beautiful hanging basket that has 2 eggs and some doves in it, they're doves, aren't they, are safe. That the parent doves find that that basket has been moved just across that wall to the front of the church, and that they're safe, and that the fumes don't get to them. There'll be a tent, and know that the plants survive. We bless the birds and the plants, that their roots survive, that the plants themselves are hardy enough and have gotten watered enough to withstand the fumigation. And we bless our beautiful garden here in the front. And we bless this whole church. And for this and so much more, we say, thank you, God. Thank you, Blessed Spirit. Thank you, infinite wisdom. Thank you, the good of God that exists in all things, including us. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Helen, and thank all of you who, you know, make this a wonderful place to be. So with that, Reverend Greg, I hand it back to you.
So we're going to do the silent unity prayer for protection in just a moment, but I want to explain that we really count on prayer here, and so if you need prayer, we have prayer chaplains who are experienced in prayer and who hold the light for you. Raise your hand if you're a prayer chaplain, please. These are the folks that will help you if you wish to stay behind and receive prayer. They will come to see you, so please do that, and thank you guys for being of service. We really, really appreciate it. All right, you guys, we're going to do the silent unity prayer for protection and stand for that. And then what are we singing, Mitch?
We're singing I Choose Love.
I Choose Love. That's a good choice. That's a really good choice. All right, you guys, so here we go. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever I am, God is. I am divine, and all is well.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one. One tie that binds us, it can't be undone. I choose love. Peace for our planet is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are all part of each other. We are one. One choice unites us, let this be the one. I choose